Please be seated. Good afternoon, and what a beautiful day. My name is Mike Rainer, and as president of Holy Names University, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our 139th commencement ceremony. In addition to welcoming the university trustees and our guest speaker who are on the platform with me, we also welcome Holy Names faculty and staff. But most importantly, we welcome you, candidates for degrees, and the families and friends that have come to join and share in this celebration with you. Commencement ceremonies remind all of us who work in higher education that our students are the reason we have chosen careers we have. I joined Holy Names University Sisters Educational Mission in California that began as a humble convent school, evolved to meet ever-changing educational needs. We became a college for women during the 1920s, added graduate level education, and moved from downtown Oakland to this magnificent campus here in the Oakland Hills in the 1950s. We became co-educational in 1971 and added a pioneering adult degree completion program in the early 1980s. In 2004, the humble convent school had evolved to become Holy Names University, the institution we know today. Thank you, sisters. Graduating class of 2012, this is your day. You will receive baccalaureate degrees for having successfully fulfilled the requirements of your particular academic program. You've arrived at a very special moment in your lives, and yes, it is cause for celebration. But before we get on with the celebration and the program, I have a job for you. You, all of you, committed yourselves to the pursuit of higher education. And yes, no question, you are the ones that did what was required. Because of your perseverance, you earned the degrees to be conferred this afternoon. However, every one of you had others who encouraged you and supported you. And without that encouragement and support, you would not be here today. I would like the degree candidates to please stand. Now your job. Look around you. See who you can spot. Spot someone who helped you to this moment. If they were unable to be here with you today, call on them in your minds. And now, please give your family, friends, and fellow graduates a standing ovation for having helped you achieve your dream of a college education. Well done, candidates. Please be seated. Okay, on with your celebration. I would like to call Victoria Camarena to the podium. Victoria is a candidate for the bachelor's degree, for the Bachelor of Arts degree with a double major in Communication Studies and Sociology. She is from Los Angeles. Great place. Victoria has been very active while at Holy Names as an RA, the founder and president of Dance Force for 4 years. She's been a peer mentor and a member of the Model UN Club. In addition, she has been a student worker for the advising staff for 4 years. Following graduation, she will work in the Human Resources Department at the University of San Francisco. Victoria will lead us in our invocation.
Before we start this prayer, I'd like to recognize the land we stand on today is the traditional territory of the Muwekma Ohlone people. I'd also like to recognize that not everyone in our audience speaks English. Muchas gracias a todos por venir a celebrar este día con nosotros. Te agradecemos. Please stand as you are able. Let us pray. Today, we celebrate a new walk of life, a journey we've strived for semester after semester to bring us to this glorious day. We thank our families, our peers, professors, staff members, and most importantly, we recognize ourselves for enduring this long journey and working our absolute hardest to achieve one of the first of our many lifelong goals. This new walk of life brings us change, development, growth, and empowerment. As we begin our new journey of a break from school, a new job, an internship, a large move, or post-secondary education, we pray that we gain the strength and positivity to guide us through these next endeavors. May we continue to push through all of the obstacles we face in life and bring enlightenment to all that we do. May these words by Rabbi Cheryl Lewert bring us inspiration for the future. May you be blessed on your journey, finding comfort and refuge as you travel. As you step into the strange and become a stranger, may each traveler, wanderer, and seeker you be offer wisdom and empathy. As you step into the unknown journey of your life, may you be protected from all harm. May you learn and grow from encounters with gentle teachers and sympathetic guides. May you hold on to the awareness that you have the courage to walk away from difficult situations. You will move towards compassion and clarity, awareness and appreciation. You will find answers and more questions. May you find what you seek. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you, Victoria. I would now like to invite today's commencement speaker, Mr. Paul Cobb, to the podium. As we sought input from our graduating seniors as to whom we should invite to be their commencement speaker, we received enthusiastic support for Paul Cobb. He's the owner and publisher of the Oakland Post, as well as 8 other newspapers, which comprise the Post News Group. The Oakland Post is the largest verified circulation African-American newspaper in Northern California. Mr. Cobb is a native of Oakland and no stranger to our beautiful campus. His early education through high school took place next door at Golden Gate Academy. From there, he traveled up the road to Napa to Pacific Union College, where he earned his degree in political science. In 1965, as a young reporter from Oakland, he joined with Martin Luther King Jr., Julian Bond, John Lewis, and other civil rights leaders in their historic march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, promoting voting rights for African Americans. Paul Cobb's advocacy and commitment to social justice, about which you can read more in today's commencement program, makes him a fitting speaker for our graduate, whose education here at Holy Names University embraced both public service and social justice, core values of our founders, the Sisters of Holy Names. Mr. Cobb.
Thank you, President Grainer. I want to thank the students that recommended me to be invited to speak to you at this auspicious commencement celebration for you and your families. I also want to thank Sister Selman and the administration for their gracious reception. I would like for the 2 students that I had my initial lunch with, if they're here, to stand so I can thank them, because they put the fear of God and lit a fire in me that is going to, you will hear it through my speech. So if they're here, will they please stand? Okay. I, as an activist and a publisher, am honored to be selected by you to be a part of your 150th anniversary ceremonies. And when I asked why I was recommended, I was told that some of the students who had read our newspapers wanted to hear from someone who had practiced and helped to organize social justice actions both here in the Bay Area and nationally. They wanted to hear about the hardships that we faced as activists who fought against racism and discrimination. Okay, let's deal with hardship number 1 for you in reality, which is student debt and finding a job to retire that debt. Today is especially poignant for each of you, whether you are the first in your family to graduate or whether you are wondering what you're going to do to get a job to pay your debt down, which might be as much as $20,000 per person. I was also a senior in a religion-based college in 1965, which happened to be the year of the 100th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation, which granted freedom to more than 4 million African Americans from a plantation slavery system for people that helped build this country's wealth and even built the White House habitat for the president that signed that proclamation. It was no volunteer signature that sprang out of inherent love and respect for Blacks, but his signature came after organizer activists like Sojourner Truth, who visited Abraham Lincoln, and Harriet Tubman, who engineered the Underground Railroad, while hundreds of Blacks and white soldiers fought side by side in the Civil War. So as a student, I was writing for the college newspaper, doing a part-time internship for the Oakland Post and El Mundo, which my wife, who is sitting here, Gay Claire Cobb, and I subsequently bought 50 years later. Then, as human rights activists, we were committed to the ideals of the Peace Corps and civil rights causes. My mission was seeking justice through voter registration and seeking to expand our census count. So 4 of us, William Battles, a Black, Milton Hare, white, Fernando Canales, a Latinx, all from Oakland. We matriculated, circulated, and graduated next door from Golden Gate Academy. We took that risk/opportunity and went to Selma, Alabama to join Martin Luther King to seek justice for voting rights. Just like your mission statement for you here today at Holy Names. So you, the class that graduates during this 150 year of this institution, must also, I want you to hear me on this, with prayer, take a hawk-like attitude in challenging the economic and personal hardships that you will undoubtedly encounter. Yes, I said that, and I mean it. Be a hawk that prays, P-R-A-Y-S, not P-R-E-Y-S, so you can have the strength to fight against the systems that have preyed upon the homeless, the lost, the lonely, the left out, the unregistered, the unhealthy, the undereducated, and the uncounted. Recently, I spoke here in one of your education classes, and I tried to encourage the student teachers who were facing hardships and difficulty around their classrooms and around classroom autonomy and creativity, that they should take an optimistic, hawk-eye view of these hardships and seek to convert them to an opportunity to organize a controlled trust fund so that they can have money to support their creativity and not come out of their pockets as teachers. So I ask you, the 150th class, to continue that tradition, take a risk to honor the legacy and efforts of your family who sacrificed for you, or some of your families borrowed money and helped pray for you to help send you here. So if you continue that hawkeye commitment to serving, simultaneously you will be paying back and paying forward. By just serving and volunteering in Tutwiler, Mississippi, a project with Habitat Humanity, by working in that community center and supporting the Civil Rights Museum, and by visiting Mexico on a social justice trip and working in health clinics, you will honor your families and you will send out ripples of hope. When I learned of your missions, I texted and called Congressman Benny Thompson, who represents Tutwiler in Congress, and I told him that I was going to be talking to you today about your service and the service in his district. because he's the congressman that represents Tuckwell. He told me to make sure to keep him abreast of what you are doing, so he, as a congressperson, along with his friend John Lewis and Barbara Lee from Oakland, your congressperson who represents this district, can continue to support and promote your efforts. Of course, I bragged about you all. I said that this school has been voted as the most diverse student body in America and whose mission embraces social justice causes. And I'm convinced that you can even do more in the same spirit of the Hawk Mania that helped to raise $10,000 in a lymphoma campaign for Make-A-Wish Foundation. And with that same attitude of Sister Carol, who has been given the title as a Hawk, who is also a prayer warrior, that same Hawk Mania can also be aggressively applied to Oakland and the surrounding communities. I, as publisher of the Post, want to partner with you, this 150th class, to expand and promote your just serve spirit to the local communities through social laboratory internships. I have told Dr. Kitty Kelly Epstein, Dr. Kimberly Mayfield, and others that our El Mundo newspaper and the Post will donate $150 for the 150th year on a regular basis this calendar year as part of a campaign to help create a fund that will help a dedicated endowment trust fund run by you, the students, to help pay off your debt and support your job finding efforts. I am sure that many of the faculty and family members who are here and the people from the surrounding communities will want to help to be a part of that effort to help you retire your debt. And I pledge to you, as publisher of 8 newspapers, to rally support, even in our Spanish language editions, to help you achieve that goal. So do the math. Multiply 114 times approximately $20,000, and then divide that amount in half. You will easily see that we're facing a collective hardship of only about $1 million. The community should and would invest with you when they see how you apply your beliefs and training to the surrounding community. I know what I'm talking about because activism yields results. On Good Friday in 1979, I and a black woman contractor named Willie Lewis were arrested because we caused disruption and stopped traffic as far back as Walnut Creek. We wanted a fair share of contracts and jobs for minorities to complete the construction of the Grove Chapter Freeway, which is now called 980 and 24. We achieved a settlement of $13 million, which is up from only less than $1 million. We parlayed that momentum into a Hawk-like continuous voter registration campaign. That same year, I helped to co-found the Greenlining Coalition, which monitors and sues banks, insurance companies, and brokerage houses, and other financial institutions that have practiced redlining of our communities and practiced disinvestment. And 10 years later, when the Loma Prieta earthquake collapsed the Cypress 880 freeway, my wife and a group of our neighbors met in our home to seek changes within 48 hours of that calamity, while bodies were still being rescued or retrieved from that site. And we made a plan to go to all 18 cities Alameda County to get them to adopt a resolution to reroute that freeway that had divided our community. We sent delegations to Washington, to the White House, and to Sacramento. We won that fight, and now that freeway has been rerouted. And we have Cypress, and we have Mandela Parkway. That was especially meaningful for us because when I was just 11 years old at St. Patrick's Church, Catholic Church in West Oakland, Lionel Wilson, first Black mayor and the Catholic, was the lawyer for our group that opposed the Cypress Freeway in the first place. We lost the lawsuit, but God shook her hips. My wife formed, after that, the Cypress Mandela Training Program that is continuously providing construction training and jobs. And even in her retirement, she is continuing to register voters and advocating for change. She was one of the original freedom riders who left Queens College to break down barriers in public restaurants and facilities and to fight for voter registration. As a student NAACP leader, she invited Malcolm X to speak. When the school said no, she met with Malcolm and he wrote a letter to her urging her to stay active, and she has. One of her classmates was one of those killed in Philadelphia, Mississippi. She joined with Martin Luther King at the March on Washington. She joined with Martin Luther King at the March on Washington, and later as an individual, as an official of the United States Department of Labor, she sued the government to make sure that women's rights and equal pay and job sharing opportunities could be won. And I now shrink from a challenge and appear at least bit, every time I appear at least bit disbelieving in her causes, or a little Uncle Thomas, or Tio Taco-like, she gently reminds me with the phrase, "I thought nobody can sue the government and win." Very humbling advice. For those of you who are wondering if there'll be a job for you, take the stance of a soccer goalie. Be prepared to shift and grab opportunity when it comes, or when you make it happen. Because many of you might be working in multiple jobs or new jobs that haven't even been created yet, which is why your generation, which has been weaned on cell phones and social media tools, can now organize your own resourcefulness to network amongst yourselves, to support each other and to stay in touch with each other and with us on a weekly and monthly basis, and then regularly push your share buttons on who's getting jobs and what communities ideas you have for fundraising so we can help you retire your debt. I know it's hard and maybe embarrassing for you to discuss debt relief and personal finances, but you can earn and fight your way out of it and have an impact to change the system. Don't be shy and bashful about your need, because there's now a national recognition that the cost of education needs to be more affordable, and we can make it happen if we fight for it. So while you're multitasking with your volunteer activities on voter registration and the census count, you, as a member of the most diverse and most active school in America, will be making sure that we count. Yes, you can cause your just serve hawk mania attitude towards problem solving to then go viral. My advice to you today is to be optimistically active and committed like a hawk. I will make sure your needs and deeds will have a rippling effect across the country. Because when I go to the NNPA, the National Black Newspapers Convention in June in Cincinnati, I will be one of the panelists that will question and interview the candidates for president, and you can rest assured that I will ask them to replicate the efforts and initiatives of your 150th class that cut the tuition costs of some of the teacher ed programs. I will also ask them to consider cutting the cost of tuition in general. And I will ask them to mimic how you and you with your African American, Latino, and white students hold memberships in each other's cultural organization as the ultimate intersectionality unity move. Voter registration and census participation matters. To attest to that, in 2008, Dolores Huerta and I sat side by side as delegates to make sure our voices were heard at the Denver convention that nominated Barack Obama. We reflected on how, when Black, Latino, and white activists had marched together with Cesar Chavez to register voters, and how the need is still today. Organized optimism is not passé. And to give you one example as I close, in 1968, we organized the Oakland Black Caucus. Our first action was to picket Kaiser Hospital to stop the unnecessary hysterectomies prescribed for Black women. I was also a member of Kaiser Health Plan at the time, and still am, and I would love to remind them that they could and should endow your nursing and health clinic training program with gusto. By working together, I intend to make sure that their philanthropic spirit, which has recently given millions towards homeless habitats, would also extend to hiring some of you and supporting you as members of the 150th class. Yesterday, I spoke at my Aunt Leora Overall's funeral. She died at 97. One of her proudest achievements was that she was awarded a teaching credential from Holy Names in her 60s. Her last recorded message was just a couple of days before her passing, was her advice for us to continue to pray, to fight with love, and to never give up. So Hawkmania Nation, I want you to thank your mothers, especially since this is on the eve of Mother's Day. I want you to thank your parents, your relatives, and your teachers and administrators, and tell them that you're going to continue to organize to seek justice, because that will define your path, and you must define your path and not let your path define you. Graduation is not the end of your educational journey, because the word commencement means a new beginning. So let's commence together in the same custom of your historic intersectional, intercultural practice of white, Black, and Latinx students simultaneously holding memberships, and let's do it as a replication for all over the world. As James Baldwin said, to act is to be committed, and to be committed is to be in danger. I would like to paraphrase that by saying, to not act is more dangerous. So, si se puede, unidos trabajando el futuro es de nosotros, and Latinx recognition and Black culmination can then occur. So stand up and thank your mama and your families for their support. remember that hawks swoop, they don't stoop.
Good afternoon. My name is Stephen Ward, and I'm the chairman of the Board of Trustees of Holy Names University. Thank you, Mr. Cobb, for those inspiring remarks. It is our honor and privilege to bestow on you, Mr. Cobb, this honorary degree of Doctor of Human Letters. Welcome to the Holy Names family.
That's what they're doing.
Good afternoon. My name is John Ujigrosa, and I'm the interim provost and vice president for academic affairs. It is my honor now to introduce to you
Just want to
Monica
make sure we get the
Zernich.
minutes and some remarks and everything. Yes.
Monica is the senior class vice president who will introduce our student speakers.
All right. Cool.
Monica is a candidate for a Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology. She's from Alameda and transferred to Holy Names from Merritt Community College. In addition to her service in student government, Monica has participated in both cross-country and track teams at HNU. Please join me in welcoming Monica to the stage.
Thank you, Dr. Muchiroso. Hello, everyone. I am pleased to introduce Shaylah Ellis. As our 2019 traditional student speaker, and Michaela Johnson as our 2019 adult student speaker. And a little bit about both of them. Shaylah is a proud Oakland native and hopes one day to be the mayor of Oakland. After college, she plans to become an English teacher, hopefully educating children at Skyline High School, her alma mater. Shaylah has been a very active member in our community. She has held executive positions in the Black Student Union, is a resident assistant, and is just finishing her role as our current student body president. Shaylah likes to make a difference in her HNU community and loves her city. Yes, that's her. And then Mikaela works at UCSF Benny Hoff Children's Hospital in Oakland. She is in the mental health department, helping children in the Bay Area. After graduation, she hopes to earn degree number 3. She has applied to Samuel Merritt University in Oakland, and she hopes to work as a mental health nurse. She's doing all this with the hope of continuing to advocate for youth in our city who are underrepresented and underprivileged. Mikaela draws her inspiration, her motivation, and her strength from her 2 beautiful children, Aiden, who is 7 years old, and her 6-month-old daughter, Catalea. She is not a traditional student, but she is definitely an excellent model for any student going through college. Please join me in welcoming Shaylah Ellis and Michaela Johnson. Hello, good evening, President Grainer, trustees, faculty,
staff, and visiting family and friends. And good evening to the graduating class of 2019. We made it. I guess it's a little too late to joke about a coverage, While it is a tremendous accomplishment to have made it this far, I want to take a moment to acknowledge one of our classmates who unfortunately was not able to make it to the finish line, Brenda Caston Webster. She was an English major and she passed away in her home during Thanksgiving break. She was an older student who always talked about her family, grandchildren, and her Southern upbringing. Brenda touched the hearts of many, and she has been missed. Being in classes with her, you always knew the discussions would be fruitful, and I know she really looked forward to the day she will walk across this stage. So today, Brenda will walk with us in spirit. At this time, I would like to take a moment to honor her. Thank you. Getting through college was not easy, for us or for our family and friends. We need to take the time to thank those who helped us get here, whether it was through major sacrifices, late night calls just listening to us then, or being there for us. My mom had to hear me on the other end of the phone crying more times than I can think of. Dr. Prince literally came to the campus to sit with me while I finished the essay and has always been there for me. Casey, today's her birthday. Casey is someone I just met this year, and she saw me cry the first day that I met her, and she pushed me to attend grad school. Make sure you reflect on and thank those who helped you get to this point. This has been a long journey for all of us, and I know our supporters are all so proud of us. I'm sure you all remember those sleepless nights from being up all night studying and writing essays. All the breakdowns we had when we thought we wouldn't make it. All the classes we sat through when we had our own personal battles going on. And of course, the many stairs we have had to trudge up and down multiple times a day. Whether we learned from each other socially or in a classroom, we learned about how to communicate effectively, write professionally, and maybe some of you learned about gravity being negative 9.8 meters per second squared. Those times that you thought you couldn't make it to this day are far gone now. Whether you have been here 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 years, we did it. We have grown so much, learned even more, and developed everlasting bonds. Let us take a moment and think of freshman year for each of us. Your journey from your first year of college to now has probably changed you very much, whether you realize it or not. We have gained so much knowledge, experiences, and many life lessons. Even though I live so close that the song on the radio hasn't even finished by the time I get home, I have learned so many different things from being here. I didn't relocate, but the fact that many of you did made me feel like I was somewhere else. And you all taught me about your original homes. Sharing your experiences with me not only gave me a deeper love for my own hometown, but it created the core value of diversity in me. Because we all come from different walks of life, we contribute to the amazing diversity of HNU. While HNU always talks about being diverse, we have a diverse population of many who don't know what diversity is. We don't have enough conversations on the topic, which prompted me to promote more programs on diversity. So thank you to anyone who has attended events like Do It for DACA or My Blue, Black, All Lives Matter, and the many more. This has been a tough journey, but also a fun one. We have made friends to last a lifetime, cheered on our teams when they won or lost, had too many events to count, and even got into some fun trouble. These are the moments we will miss and look back on with our grandchildren as we reminisce on the good old days. I never thought I would have so many friends who don't even live in my city, but now I have friends from LA, Vegas, Hawaii, Ohio, and even Switzerland. If it weren't for coming to HNU, I wouldn't have all these new places to stay after vacations. Hug your friends and thank them for being there. My own parting words of wisdom for you are these. Find your why. Your why is something that I hold strongly. I don't do anything unless I have a why. And your why is, why are you doing this? What is the purpose and where will it get you? If we have any Kalani fans out there, my favorite quote of her is, everything I do it with a passion. So everything you do, you should do it with a passion. My second is, use your voice and always speak up. Speak up for those who can or don't know how to speak for themselves. It has been an honor being your HNU Student Body President. Thank you.
Good evening, President Grainer, trustees, faculty, staff, and visiting family and friends. And good evening to the graduating class of 2019. As we sit here today on the brink of graduation, and as I look across this courtyard, I'm reminded that each of us and our futures will be different, just as each of our journeys to this point has been different. Each of us has had a unique story that can be told about how we came to this place. Today, as you can obviously see, I am not your typical college graduate. The common term that is used is non-traditional student, or your employee names they are known as
I'm on it.
adults.
Can you turn the microphone up a little bit? Turn the mic up.
A full-time hospital employee, and a full-time mother too. Most days, I go 18 hours straight, living on caffeine and never enough sleep. A non-traditional student has many definitions, but in short, we are adult learners, and there seems to be no shortage of us. The federal government determined that 40% of American college students, or almost 6 million people, are 25 years or older. A non-traditional student has learned how to balance life, work, school, and family all at an older age. We don't usually take daytime classes because we are working. We don't usually go out on Thursday nights with friends because we have obligations at home. We usually don't live on campus because we have kids to read bedtime stories to. But what we do know is our mission, and we execute it with precision. But with all of this said, a non-traditional student cannot succeed without the traditional students. Any student who has taken classes here at HNU knows that professors assign group projects. It is together that we have worked together on projects and made presentations. It is together that we have studied for exams and worried about our GPAs. It is together that we ate in the cafe cramming for a midterm. It is together that we look to tomorrow. It is together that we sit here ready to accept our diplomas. It is together that we leave this university as graduates, ready to enter the world of our futures. A portion of us will be continuing our education as master's students, while others will be searching for that ideal career. Today, on the behalf of all of us graduates, I want to thank our families who stood by us during the joys, the tears, the tough days, and the easy days. Whether it was financial, professional, or emotional support, we thank our loved ones for their patience and their love. Even on days where we wanted to give up and send a somber text or call, they kept encouraging us and pushing us. And look at us now, we made it. And I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my kids. Mike, thank you so much for everything. I wish to thank our professors who have taught us, mentored us, and have prepared us for our futures, for sharing their time, their knowledge, and their experiences with us as they guided us throughout our journeys. Personally, I would like to thank Sister Chris, who is no longer here with us. I miss taking her political science classes as she spoke so proudly about feminism and would always have some type of political cartoon on a test that really made you think outside the box. Another teacher I'd like to acknowledge is Professor Sawada, who I had for many Isaac classes. I went from dreading Isaac to making sure if I had to take it, I'd take it with him. From learning about California Native history, to consumerism, to the Black Panthers, I am forever grateful for the wealth of knowledge. Watching movies from the Oakland Film Festival, which is held also at this school, was invaluable. His speech was one where we could have many open discussions, respectively. You would see a difference in opinion from the traditional students to the non-traditional students, which I always thought was interesting. My son also enjoyed speaking to Sensei Sawada in Mandarin. As we give praise and thanks to people who have helped us, we need not forget ourselves. For one moment, forget about the past and what you could have done differently. Right now, don't think about the future, the career you will have when you leave these halls, or the accomplishments yet to come. Graduates, for one moment, recognize yourselves. You deserve it. For one moment, remember the work that you put in to get yourself here. Think of the countless hours you spent studying, poring over textbooks and making note cards. Think of the last-minute rushes and furious typing that helped you turn in projects on time. For those of you with families of your own, remind yourselves of the time you sacrificed away from them. The dance recitals or early morning soccer games you had to miss. Being at work all day, going straight to a class that doesn't end until 9 p.m., and by the time you get home, they are sound asleep. All the sacrifices to work on your degree, hoping to help them by advancing your career. Think back to the beginning of your journey. For those of you who left jobs, acknowledge the risk that you took to pursue a career. To leave an established position behind, especially in this economy, requires amazing courage. Recognize your accomplishments. Think of the student organizations that you took part in. Recognize the work that went into preparing for exams and passing classes. Recognize the long hours you spent pounding out job applications and cover letters. Recognize the all-nighters and the caffeine dependency. Recognize how much you've learned here. Holy Names University will always have a special place in our hearts. Wherever our journey takes us after this day, we will no longer be known as traditional or non-traditional students, but collectively we'll be known as the graduates of Holy Names University, class of 2019. Congratulations.
Candidates for degrees will now be presented. We will announce those candidates who are graduating with honors. There are 3 levels of honors based on the following criteria. Summa cum laude, a minimum cumulative grade point average of 3.85 for all academic work. Magna cum laude, a minimum cumulative grade point average of 3.7. And cum laude, a minimum cumulative grade point average of 3.5 for all academic work. Following the presentation of the candidates, degrees will be conferred by President Grainer. President Grainer, the following candidates have fulfilled the requirements for the baccalaureate degree. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Michaela Johnson. Michelle Phillips Brooks, cum laude. Shaylah Danielle Ellis. Victoria Camille Camarena. Ryan Mikaela Ford. Bailey Samuel Roberts, magna cum laude. Javier Hernandez.
Water, young man?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Adriana Eulalia Arias. Patricia Isabel Castillo. Alejandra Marilu Arias. Juan Manuel Macias. Vincent Hannibal. Tiffany Rashonda Taylor. Misha Fogel. Jenilyn Love Pugliese, cum laude. Crystal Alexandria Jimenez. Alexis Brianne Castanon McKelvey, summa cum laude. Chiamaka Ohanele, magna cum laude. Alejandra Lepes.
All right, I got you.
Shariah Latrice Scott. Fiani Johnson. Natalia Yasmin Valencia. Kikuyo Angelica Trujillo. Cum laude. Yolanda Denise Garnett. Shaylah Downton. Nicole Iona Lavlo. Mackenzie Marie Sabin, magna cum laude. Sophia Stefani. Antonio de Jesus Rivas.
But then again, I'm watching. I'm watching through that.
Gladys Elizabeth Figueroa. Ileana Huerta Gomez. Lana Guevara Suarez. Casey Tao Do. Zenda Nicole Johnson. Adriana Patricia Wilson. Paula Dueñas Martinez. Esmeralda Hernandez. Carla Maria Valdivia Leon. Kelly Nicole Brown, summa cum laude. Fuefane Miriam Tobiano. Marcellus Perry, cum laude. Jacob Dean.
Oh, no, okay, I got it. Thank you.
Zachary Bryce Young. Sementelli, summa cum laude.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Diana Kraus, magna cum laude. Andre Green II. Robert Thomas Kazar. Julia R. Gold, cum laude. Andrew Meister. Cameron Stephen Trudell. Bradley D. Boussard, cum laude. Kyle Scott.
I want to go back Pokemon detective picture.
Andrew Rockland Gnos. Brent Lloyd Boussard. Ryan Kazuo Fujinaga, cum laude. Drew Edward Guerra. William Alexander Reese. Noah Roberts Padilla, magna cum laude. Alante Uribe, cum laude.
It's
Zachary John Bartley. Danny Paul Terry II, magna cum laude.
So how are we doing? Okay. Almost done? Yeah, I'm on.
Angela
Put 'em
Christine
on the
Drew,
wrong side.
magna cum laude. Hugo Corpa. Macy Lynn Barajas, cum laude. Ariana Patrina Hernandez, magna cum laude. Astrid Carolina Mejia Rodriguez. Marisol Stephanie Espinosa. Fernanda Rojas. Andrea Rojas.
Are you still working at Holy Names? Because if the computer doesn't connect, means that you're working. they close your account.
Sandy
I don't know what
Barbosa.
happened. It was working, but it stopped. Let me check it out.
Mariana Rocio Pacas Mexicano. Anthony Luis Perez.
You guys gotta put a little tape.
Okay.
Put some tape right there. We have to see your haircut.
Summer Nicole Vercruz.
Is it good? How's it look?
It shows the cut on the side.
I also that they say on the side.
What is this one doing?
Summer
I'm
Renee
just,
Williams.
I'm just watching it. Broadcast on the
Oh,
side.
that's earlier. Oh,
Yeah,
there's a lag.
Oh,
But do you think we were going to be going for you?
No.
Good.
Jamie Michelle Myrtle. Cum laude. Nicole Sue Stark. Stephanie Anyotu.
Ahí cae uno más.
Fidel Cazares.
Oh, you finally got it, right? Finally.
Sandra.
Actually, he finished pretty quick. He finished in 3 semesters because he had transferred from. He was in the military. Oh, he works for you. Oh, that's right.
Oh, work for
Raven
you.
D.
He was in the army, yeah. And then he worked with me on events.
Benisha Cardwell.
Los que no funcionan no trabajan conmigo.
Adam Mackenzie Santos.
You either got it or you don't, right? Mauricio almost doubled with me for today.
Really?
You know? And I'm like, wait, don't I have like graduation that day? And he's like, oh yeah. You go, I can go do the other one. He's like, no, I cannot give to anybody.
Ashley
This gift.
Gore.
Don't trust anybody. I'm like, all right.
There you go.
Something goes wrong, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Maybe we should put like a tape on the sidewalk and have all the students stand on the other side. I think next year I'm gonna do that. Like, so that they're all in the same.
Oh,
Just
For the view.
we can have a second camera maybe there.
Oh, that would be
with
fancy.
a longer table.
Yeah, could have been over there and just control it with a little handle.
Yeah.
Mark
Switch
Anthony
between
Del
cameras.
Rado.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
We'll charge you another $1,000.
Right.
Valentina Rose Fonts.
So let's
I can't see the camera. Can't see.
It's getting cloudy at this point.
It's the sound is that way already almost.
No,
There's a
I
lot of
think the fog is coming in. Yeah.
Taylor Amani Goods.
Here we are. The fog is coming in.
It never comes this way, right? It always goes to Berkeley.
Yeah.
I
I didn't bring it down.
Carrots.
have to
Andrew
go buy the
Mitchell.
Mother's Day present.
I ordered it. I totally forgot. I ordered something last night.
For you, Mary?
Mhm. Some tickets so that I can see
Ashley
it.
Victoria.
And now you are a mother. You know what the feeling.
It's my first real mother.
Ananda Joanne.
How old is your son now?
He turns 1 in just a couple of weeks.
1 year. 1. My grandson is a year and 3 months.
Oh yeah, your grandson's walking.
And 9 months.
You want to see a picture?
I'm teaching him to play the drums. Look.
Lauren May Rose.
Oh, look, look.
I think we might.
Is he playing piano?
Let me know.
We can do a band.
Los que están ahí con las lentes verdes y de la
Looks like
black
Mikaela.
boots. Let me know. Sí, ya, por eso dije. Ahorita que te vi, we were gonna go.
We'll do a band.
Yeah, cute,
Sí, a veces cabrones se les parece como si fuera Disneyland conmigo.
That's cool. My grandson.
He's from other young.
He's a year and 3 months.
No.
Really?
Christina Gordon Amelia.
A year and 3 months. That's insane. Gotta go make some noise for this guy. I'll duck this time.
Renetta Nicole Ray. Dylan Olivia Ray. Edward Solis. Jean Santoro. Ali Talanzana, summa cum laude. Harvey Joe Valentine. Advanced. Magna.
So, igual que todos los años que desconozco todo esto, ya ready y todo mostrado.
Yeah.
Y
que trabajar la noche, ¿no?
And I packed, yeah, like, I packed out for you too.
Eso es de Mauricio.
Sí, so, ya sé dónde va todo
Okay.
eso, se lo voy a poner todo ahí. I don't know if you want me, he didn't say take it, he might buy me. I mean, go to pick it up.
Last time he came to pick it up.
He's coming tomorrow. Also, right? You guys have an event tomorrow?
Ellis Zornich.
No?
So let me ask him and he needs me to take it. Leo, that's what you were looking for, right?
Huh?
You mix it for
Yeah.
$1,000.
I know.
Botec.
I was telling that thing right there. What time is it? It's exactly 5:56. I was telling because you know how Josh does we used to do the baseball commentating, and they got to the point where they're doing live stream now. So they were commentating the live stream. So I said, you need like a camera behind home plate, a camera in the press box, and then like maybe a camera on first base. And or you have up to 4 cameras, but during the innings, the middle of the innings, like switch the camera, then they can be talking, and they switch the camera to like home base, and then like when they're running to first base, you can switch to that camera. But it's $1,000. I don't,
That switch is $1,000.
Yeah.
There's a cheaper one for
This girl right here, she's the third in the family to graduate from HNU. Alicia Nunez. So there's Vanessa. There's Vanessa. Priscilla, Alicia, and then Paul is currently here.
Older brother, Lito.
An older brother graduated? The oldest brother graduated from here too? Oh.
Natasha Marilu Sanchez.
Alicia Nunez. Priscilla. Priscilla. And Vanessa Nunez. All 3 have graduated now. Paul is a sophomore right now. Paul Nunez is, I think, a sophomore. 1, 2. He's
Discounts for family.
We used to, but that's why like my sister came because myself and my sister, there's a $2,000 scholarship that they were giving to people. So.
For what?
Well, 2,000 me, 2,000 her.
Teresa Elizabeth Galan.
We had a lot of siblings. Back in the day, we had a lot of siblings.
I think he was like close to 400,000.
Really? You're talking about value?
Yeah.
Value? Yeah. I mean, when I came, it was 30,000 tuition. How much was tuition back then? In 2009, it was like 29,000 for tuition.
25 maybe.
So 4 years at 100,000. Both of you, 200,000. Yeah. Right now, MBA is like 36,000 for the program. 34, yeah, 36, 40,000 for the program. So 40 maybe, 80, 280,000 value. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I say value. That's like the sticker price, but with the scholarships and everything. Garrett O'Callahan, the one that just goes right now. His older brother graduated like a year or 2 ago. This is Garrett O'Callahan. Older brother is Brandon O'Callahan, I believe. Yeah. Garrett.
Rodriguez. Zachary Brower.
That sounds too low. He needs to get closer to the microphone, I think. I think he's having trouble speaking, that's why. He needs some water or something. No, he's like choking though.
Guadalupe Quiñones. Alessia Splendor.
Yeah, it's got some feedback already given to my volume, bro.
Well, he didn't expect to have only 69 to do it.
Oh, he's got water. He's got water.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Drink it.
He does.
Christopher James Cavasso. Angelis Monet.
Next time we should put a camera like on the grass, just like that, looking at exactly when they're getting the.
We were talking about next year having a second camera there. So that, because that would just be so nice for every student to have like the meeting.
Yeah.
We're gonna put the equipment there.
Next year?
So you have the
I can rent you some cameras too.
Smaller umbrella, that's gonna be the only thing, huh? Well, actually, no.
A drone too.
A drone.
You know, I wanted. I wanted to get one.
What do you do if you have like a let's say you had a camera up there? Like, how would you connect it here? Would you need a whole wire to go from
We
here to
will
there?
have to wire everything in.
Yeah.
I mean, wireless video is so expensive. Like transmitters are like a good one, probably $2,000 for one camera. You can get them in Amazon for $30, but I think it's like
Yeah.
You know, I could have the drone footage pre-recorded or something.
I have a drone. You just tell me. Fly it from there. It's just kind of pass by.
we put a cable from the car here and go with the
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like the NFL. Like in the NFL, there's two wires and they.
Camera goes up and down.
do the Latino way with the left here we go.
Go left, go left, go left. Go right, go right, go right.
Arriba, uno allá arriba amarrado de la cruz.
Steph is like, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in.
It's like.
Matthew Beelan, that guy graduated in 3 years, I think. Huh? Graduated in 3 years. He was the last person to get the presidential scholarship.
They're going to give out a scholarship, you know? The president's scholarship, they're going to give it out?
Yeah, I know. I don't do it anymore. He graduated from Dozier Libby High School, so out in Antioch. Dozier Libby? I think it's Antioch.
I did mine three and a half.
He did it in 3. He came in with a lot of AP. He's probably going to be a doctor one day. That's his goal. GD.
Oh, yeah. Hanging on the purple from the student.
Jamila Ali Gad.
Ready to Rio?
Yeah.
No. I know he wanted to come back, but no sé si se va a complacer o no.
Ready to kill? He also worked with me. That's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
This guy also worked with me. He in the back is one.
He said that he wanted to go. He was going to SoCal because his friend was opening a company, right?
Yeah,
That was
well,
his plan, though.
I know he was working for a real estate company too.
Yeah.
I don't think he loved it, but
He said his friend just created some company or stuff.
si pega.
Startups, man? No, I don't get involved in that kind of stuff. Right?
Okay, so now we are constantly
It's a lot of work and there's a problem and money at all. No, he's right here.
Here's the founders now.
Oh.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees please rise for the conferring of
You have it in mute, right?
Yeah, it's good.
But we still have to do this one.
Yeah, I know. Just preparing the meeting. I have already
It's not done yet. Okay, here goes. By virtue of the authority bestowed on me by the Board of Trustees of Holy Names University, it is my privilege to confer upon each candidate here assembled the baccalaureate degree earned with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereunto. Graduates,
It wasn't a hot day either. It's a good day.
you may move your tassels from the right to the left side. Everyone, the class of 2019.
Marcellus Howard graduated today too. Mira, el que está, el chaparrito aquí, el bonito, with his cap like almost falling off with the glasses. He's got like 200,000 followers on Instagram.
Oh, wow. What did he do?
He just does videos
This year,
for
the
like
class
funny
of
basketball videos.
Oh, okay.
2019 is starting a new tradition at Holy Names University. As we close our 150th anniversary in Oakland, these students wish to recognize a faculty member who has been
How many likes he has
inspirational,
in this?
is involved in
20,000.
student
20,000 likes.
expresses care for the students, and has been a mentor to them. This is our first annual Faculty Mentorship Award. I would like to ask Ananda Cobb to come forward and present this award. Ananda just received her BA degree in sociology.
We did that, y'all. First of all. But thank you, President Green. In the last 4 years, we have been through many highs and lows. We have fallen, but mustered strength to get up. We have found friends to lean on in the process. And with a lending hand along the way, we have learned to rise to success and continue to persevere until today, the culmination of our undergraduate studies. Resilience is accessible with encouragement, and that is demanded by one faculty member. We have all learned a thing or two from her. This resilient woman has exhibited gratitude and strength and makes students feel like they can conquer anything. Her wisdom has taught us to remain strong, to taking a deep breath in and slowly out, and on how to write an analytical research paper. She has not only been a faculty member, but a mentor to many of us. In our darkest moments, you have been a constant light. In our days of sorrow, you have been the one of joy. Dr. Anastasia Prentice. Come on up. Dr. Anastasia Prentice, you exemplify true resilience within a woman, and HNU is honored to have you. On behalf of the entire class of 2019, I am honored to present Professor Anastasia Prentice with the Faculty Mentorship Award.
you enough. Congratulations, Anastasia. Sister Carol Selman, Vice President for Mission Integration, will now present the Founders Medal.
In 1958, the faculty of Holy Names University established the Founders Medal Award to honor a graduating senior who had demonstrated unusual leadership at the university. Although leadership can be demonstrated in a variety of ways, it has to be such to lead one to think, this is an admirable human being whose acquaintance has enriched the lives of those who have been privileged to know her or him. This year's recipient of the Founders Medal is undoubtedly that kind of person. A dedicated student, this person has a keen sense of intellectual curiosity, is always engaged in class discussions while encouraging others to participate, and is not afraid of taking classes that aren't required, but would be considered enrichment or self-improvement courses. The student has embraced much of the Holy Names culture and experience This student has embraced as much of the Holy Names culture and experience as possible by working on campus, serving as a peer mentor, attending sports activities, encouraging others through attendance at a variety of campus events, such as Dance Force and Floricanto, and being an unofficial mentor to new students who are having difficulty. In fact, this person likes HNU so much that one can find this student working on campus during the summers, as well as during the academic year. Perhaps the most amazing thing about this person who is on campus most days from early morning until late at night is that he doesn't live on campus, but as a commuter student, his daily commute is sometimes longer than an hour. Because of his outstanding standards of leadership, the university proudly bestows this year's Founders Medal on Freddie Castillo.
Congratulations. I am pleased to present Sister Martha Raleigh. Sister Martha is an alumna from the class of 1972 and a current member of the Board of Trustees. We are pleased that Sister Martha will be leading us in the final blessing. Martha.
Let us bow our heads as we honor the one who has called us into being, the Spirit of the Divine. We seek your blessing on these women and men, graduates of this university, dedicated to your holy name. Inspire them with passion for justice, for all who are oppressed and marginalized. Passion for the peaceful resolution of conflict. Passion for building communities of hope. Inspire their voices voices of courage that humbly speak truth to power, voices of compassion that advocate for the sustainability of Earth's resources, and voices of solidarity that speak for the voiceless. Touch their hearts, hearts ever ready to welcome the stranger and help the helpless. Hearts always open to receive and give love. Hearts beating with gratitude for your goodness. Together with these beautiful women and men, our Holy Names University graduates, may we all go from this sacred place willing to live our best lives, give of our best selves, and confident in your unconditional love for each of us, for all that you have created us to be and to do. We say, Amen.
I gave you the cue.
Following the ceremony, you are all invited to join us in the St. Francis courtyard just inside Brennan Hall, to my left. For the reception, please remain in your places until the academic procession has recessed. Again, congratulations, class of 2019. Well done.
No te olvides de llevar este y dejarlo como estaba, por favor.
Lo regreso cuando... Sí, si no, no lo van a conectar, no van a saber cómo hacerlo de regreso.
Sí, por eso que...
Para llevarlo para atrás.